Hello, Corey from Appeal Club here. I want to start helping guys get a better foundation on how to understand if garments fit well, if garments kind of align to your body and aesthetics well. And so I think there's a lot of information out there. So I want to start with a three-part series on shirts, and this is going to be Shirts 101, and today we're going to focus on fits. So as most guys know, shirts are generally bought by neck size. And if your shirt collar fits properly, it should sit close to your neck, but should also have enough room for two fingers to go inside the collar. I know a lot of guys will say they don't like wearing ties all day, or ties uncomfortable to wear, and it's not actually the tie. It's more likely the case that your shirt is too small and it's kind of choking you out through the day. So you see the guys at the end of the day, they have their tie loosened up and their shirt unbuttoned kind of 80s style, which is terrible. But getting your neck sizing correct is fundamental. So if you go to a store and you're going to buy a ready-to-wear shirt, you can always ask the store clerks to measure your neck and make sure you get in the right size. Keep in mind, those shirts will be sold in half-inch increments, and when you get the shirt initially, it should feel a little loose on the looser side. There's some manufacturing tolerance built in there. When you have your shirt cleaned, your dry cleaner will use a high heat press, and that will cause some shrinkage in the collar, and we also need that wearing ease that we spoke about. So resist the urge to size down to a smaller size that may end up being tight, say 6 months after cleaning it multiple times. So once we have the right fit for the collar, that's going to drive the body fit. There may be some options such as slim fit, classic fit, relaxed, etc. So let's talk about how those points should align to your body and how that aligns to those things. So you notice my shirt fits quite neat in the shoulders, and that means the shoulder seam of the shirt aligns kind of to where my shoulders are. So I'm filling the shirt up in the top in a kind of handsome and masculine way. If you have a shoulder here that's too small, then it'll be into your shoulder and it'll be tight and you'll see pulling across the cap. If that shoulder is too wide, it'll drop off of your shoulder and it'll give you a sloppy, oversized appearance, and it'll also throw extra volume into your chest here that you don't want. So make sure your shoulders are nice and neat. If you look at the body of the shirt compared to my body, you'll notice it kind of follows along my body lines. I have probably 2 inches of fabric here on each side that I can pinch, but it's not overly large. Also, you'll notice as my shirt goes into my trousers, it doesn't create like a muffin shirt shape. There's not a lot of blousing. It goes into my trousers pretty cleanly, keeping a nice line. I've seen guys that will wear shirts that are too small, and you'll see pulling at the placket and the buttons. You'll notice here from the chest area through the stomach area, the placket of my shirt lays nice and clean. While we're talking about the stomach area, I actually have a little bit of roundness here, but because my shirt has enough volume, it's not pulling there, and it still lays nice and flat, and that actually is more flattering than, let's say, a shirt that was tight here and would show you that I have a little bit of roundness here. Moving onward, let's talk about the armhole and the sleeve, right? So a higher armhole is not only more comfortable, but it allows you to have a better visual run. So because the armhole is closer to my body here, it lets you see length along here. So it actually gives me the appearance of being taller. If I had an armhole that was lower, it would make for a bigger sleeve, and that bigger sleeve sometimes can catch when you're trying to put that inside a jacket. It would also, again, shorten that side body run, making me appear shorter. Now, if we talk about the sleeve length, you notice the sleeve sits nicely just at the bottom of my wrist bone. And you'll also notice that there's a little bit of extra fabric here. And your inclination may be to think that, oh, there's extra fabric here, the shirt is too long. But remember, I have to be able to move in all sorts of positions. So I need extra fabric. If I were to be here at the side and I reach forward, you'll see that the shirt pulls up about 1.5 inches from the position it was in when my arms are down. So I need some extra fabric to allow that movement. If I go from here, if I were to take that out of the shirt, then as I reach, that cuff would kind of lock my arm up. So make sure you have a little ease there at the bottom of the cuff. The other way that we will always check the sleeve with the clients here in the studio, we always check the sleeves of the shirt with the jacket presuming that the jacket fits well, right? There's a certain relationship that has to happen. Just get it nice and settled here. Double-breasted, I'm gonna button here on the inside so it lays nice and flat. And then I'm gonna just pull my shirt sleeves down to make sure they're fully expressed. And here we are. And you'll see here, right? With my jacket on, I have about a 1/2 inch of shirt cuff showing at the end of the jacket sleeve to punctuate the jacket, right? And that amount could be from 1/4 of an inch to about 3/4 of an inch, depending on preference. But I don't like to see more than 3/4 of an inch. It makes it feel like the jacket sleeves a little bit short. So those are most of the points that we need to consider when we're fitting the shirt. There's one more important point that I'd like to mention. So when companies develop product, they develop it based on a fit model that has standard proportions and standard posture. And then the smaller sizes and bigger sizes are then kind of created from there using a formula. But suppose instead of regular posture here, you were in the military and your chest is forward and your arms are back and you stand, then you may find that a standard shirt doesn't fit you well. Or if you look at your phone a lot and your neck is forward here, you may feel that collar pressing against your throat and feel like the collar is not comfortable. Even if you have the room of the 2 fingers, that room will be in the back for you because your head will be pushing against the collar in the front. And so in those cases, made to measure can be a very cost-effective and great solution to take into account not only the circumferences that you need to make the shirt look right, but also your personal preferences, choices of fabrics, collars, and your unique body posture in a way that makes the shirt very flattering for you. So that's what we specialize in. We cut made to measure and take all of those things into account. So in the second and third part of the series, I'll go into collars and how to choose the right collar based on what type of neckwear you wear or don't wear. And we'll also talk about different fabric options and how to choose a fabric that makes sense for you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And thanks for hanging out with us for Shirts 101.